Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
Said run and get you one gal, better get you two. One for your buddy and one for you. I got a wife and a sweetheart too. Hope my wife don't want me when my sweetheart do. You better rag, mama, you better rag. Mama, you better rag. Mama, come on girl, let's do that rag. Well, I'm going uptown with my hat in my hand. Looking for a woman, ain't got no man. Like looking for a needle lost in the sand. Come on girl, let's do that rag. Rag mama, ooh, you better rag mama. You better rag mama. I said, come on girl, do that rag. You know my mama bought a chicken and she told her it was a duck. She put it on the table with its legs stuck up. In come my sister with a spoon and glass, dishing out the gravy from the yes, yes, yes. Rag, mama, you better rag. Mama, you better rag, mama. Oh, come on, girl, let's do that rag. Well, mama got a Cadillac, sister got a Buick. Sister got mad cause they wouldn't let her do it. She might be old about 90 years, but the girl ain't too old for to shift them gears. Rag, mama, you better rag, mama. Ooh, you better rag, mama. Now come on, girl, let's do that rag. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, say go cat go, come on baby, shake that thing, if you don't play you surely can't win. Rag, mama, you better rag, mama, you better rag, mama, come on girl, let's do that rag. Night before Christmas and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not a single mouse. Out in the yard there arose a crash, it was Santa Claus falling on his big fat. I said rag mama, ooh, you better rag mama. You better rag mama, yes, come on girl, you wanna do that rag. Come on girl, do that rag.
Yeah. All right. The show is Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin, and you've been listening to music from a fella. He's an internationally recognized blues and ragtime finger picker and singer-storyteller. Studied with Pink Anderson and Reverend Gary Davis, and is this year celebrating his 30th year as a recording artist. Welcome to the show, Roy Bookbinder.
Well, thank you, sir. It's great
Nice
to be
to have you here.
Nice to be here. Wasn't so much that I studied with those boys, but they let me hang out with them. Because Reverend Davis was blind, he wasn't sure if I was there or not.
So where's that song come from, Rag Mama?
Rag Mama, 1935, Reverend Davis was just called Blind Gary at the time. He and Blind Boy Fuller and Sonny Terry came to New York on the train from Durham, North Carolina, where they were picking and singing during the tobacco picking season, where the money was on the streets. And they were discovered by J.B. Long, a white man, who took them to New York to record. And Gary Davis recorded 2 beautiful blues songs. Blind Gary was the name on the record. And then he asked if he could do some Christian songs. He recorded about a dozen of those, and then the man said, well, let's have some more blues, and Gary decided he wasn't going to fool with blues anymore. 2 hours in a big city, he got religion. It still happens to some. And then Blind Boy Fuller got up to the mic next, and he recorded a lot of blues that he learned on the train ride up from Durham from Gary, and he became an overnight blues sensation, drank himself to death in 26 months. But the Lord works in mysterious ways. 26 years later, Gary Davis was still in New York singing on 135th Street when folk music happened. Peter, Paul, and Mary heard him do If I Had My Way. They covered it, and Reverend Davis made a pile of money and became a folk music sensation all those years later.
He's a wonderful picker.
There you go.
Yeah. So what, as a young fella, what drew you into this?
Well,
kind of
it's
music?
the kind of thing, it's a calling. I heard the guitar being picked this way. I was in the Navy in 62, 3, 4, and I heard somebody finger picking blues, and it just tickled my ear. I didn't realize it was going to ruin my life at the time. But I knew I had to do it. It was like I'd never heard anything like it. And here I am 30 years later, still semi-successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were telling us before about your trip to Australia.
Yeah.
A couple of tours to Australia.
Couple of tours to Australia, long ride.
I think you're the best thing next to sliced toast.
I was better than fried chicken, they said. But a lot of people go to Australia. A lot of my colleagues, John Hammond, Taj Mahal, they've been there a million times. But I'm just getting around to it. It's a long ride, 14 hours in an airplane.
But the blues is big in Australia.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Everything's nice in Australia. It's the size of America. It's bigger than the U.S. and it's got the population of California. And they support the music. It's nice.
Yeah.
But they always did. Sonny Brownie used to go out there all the time. Good market.
All right. Want to give us another tune?
Yeah. I do one by my old friend Pink Anderson. Pink Anderson was from Spartanburg, South Carolina. He wished he could be here today, but he's dead.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, Pink told me before he died, he says, Roy, we're sitting on his front step smoking cool regulars. And he said, Roy, that's what he called me. I says, Pink? He says, you know them old songs of mine you can almost play on your guitar? I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm giving them to you. Wherever you go, you tell them. Pink Anderson used to pick the guitar and sing that stuff, but he got too old to bother with it. He took a drag on a cigarette, looked me right in the eye. He says, I believe you'll make it as far as Atlanta someday. That's 138 miles from where we was sitting. It's important to have people believe in you, though. I told that story in Athens, Greece 2 summers ago. Nobody understood a word I said, but a deal's a deal. This is an old tune that Pink used to sing. A lot of people sang this song. Actually, it comes from minstrel shows, I think. It filtered into the folk music process, and then when the college boys up north went down south collecting folk songs, they collected a lot of songs that were written on Tin Pan Alley for minstrel shows. They didn't know it. It's like the Lovesick Blues. Hank Williams' biggest hit was written by 2 Russian immigrants on Broadway in New York City. But anyway, here's Pink's whole song. Well, I went down to a big crap game, and it certainly was against my will. I lost every gosh darn nickel that I had, but this here greenback dollar bill, well, a $40 bet was on the floor. My buddy's point was 9. When the police come, why, they grabbed all of us, but I got mine. Yes, I got mine. I got mine. Ooh, I got it all to do with sport, folks. I've been shooting dice all this time. Some of them boys have got 30 days, whilst others, they got 9. When brought those stripes in the very next morning, I got mine. Now let me tell you all about this turkey feed, why the dinner was most certainly fine. 15 minutes before the table got set, all the jitterbugs fell in line. When they brought those gobblers out, ooh, the rascals I did shine. You can talk about a rascal I grabbed in, and I got mine. Yes, I got mine. Ooh, I got mine. You know I grabbed that turkey by the wing, and out the back door I went flying. I tried to make it to this hiding place, but I couldn't get there in time. Why, another rascal grabbed me right by my collar, and I got mine. Now I'm going to tell you about this here barber shop that's right down on old North 4th Street. It's the only place on any Saturday night that we gambling men do meet. Some of them might come down there for a haircut, and others, they come for a scrap. You see, me and my buddy Ralph going up that way, man, we're going to mean to shoot some craps. We're going to holler now, 7, 11, won't you come, come, come? And if you don't 7-11 dice, why, I'm done, done, done. If I see the police before that he sees me, you know I'm going to run, run, run. Cause I'm a leader to knock down society, folks, since I got mine. Yes, I got mine. I got mine. I got it all the good sport, folks. Like I said, I've been shooting dice all this time. You know that some of them boys, they got 30 days, and others, they got 9. They brought those stripes in the very next morning. Hot dog, I got mine. Now, you know that I went down to my best gal's house in an hour. It was just about 9. I wasn't dressed up like Henry Ford, but I was looking mighty fine. I caught that gal sitting in another rascal's lap. I didn't like that sign. Well, I told that rascal what I thought about him. That's right. I got mine.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent.
Thank you.
We mentioned that you've been in the recording artist business for 30 years. We got a few examples of that.
Yep, that's my live album. That's called Don't Start Me Talking. It's a great album. That's recorded live in some nightclub. And got a second guitar player. Jorma Kaukonen's on 2 tracks from the Hot Tuna Band. You might remember him.
And then we got this other one. This is your
That's a new one.
album
That's
coming out.
Polk City Ramble. P-O-L-K. Polk City Ramble. That'll be out pretty soon in 1998, January or so.
And then this is a videotape that
That's the video how to do it. Play the guitar in the key of C mostly, and it's a very very helpful tool to learn how to play the guitar. I mean, no longer do you have to go to the crossroads and suffer the humiliation of getting on your knees when dealing with the devil and all that. In the privacy of your own home, you put this under your pillow when the moon is full. 3 months in a row, you're picking the blues, baby.
Okay, maybe I should take that home for myself.
Maybe we'll fix you up for a good price.
We should let folks know how to write for more information about those recordings, or they could probably get on your mailing list to find out your upcoming performances.
I don't have a mailing list, but they can write.
They can write. They'll find out information about Roy Bookbinder's recordings and any information that you might want to know by writing to P.O. Box 314, Polk City. Was there a president by that name?
Yeah, there was.
President Polk,
He didn't live
Florida,
there.
33868. Roy Bookbinder.
There it is. You write us a postcard and we'll send you one back.
Okay.
That's the way we are down there.
One good turn deserves another.
There you go. Let me tell you about one of my favorite blues singers I never got to meet was Blind Lemon Jefferson. He was from Texas and he recorded back in the 20s. He was one of the first guitar players to make blues records on a guitar. Before the guitar players started making blues records, people like Ma Rainey and Memphis, well, not Memphis Minnie, but all them women, the classic blues singers played with little jazz combos. And they heard Blind Lemon singing around Dallas, and the record company took a chance, and boy, money was made. This is my tribute to Blind Lemon. I call it Blind Lemon. Way back in Texas, Blind Lemon sang the blues. Ooh, way back in Texas, Blind Lemon sang the blues. Picked on his whole guitar, that's all Blind Lemon could do. Now they say Blind Lemon wondered, would a matchbox hold his clothes? Yes, they say Blind Lemon wondered, would a matchbox hold his clothes? Had so very few matches and they had so doggone far to go. Now they say Blind Lemon had a gal across town and she crocheted all the time. Ooh, they say Blind Lemon had a gal across town crocheted all the time. Lemon was over her saying, girl, if you don't quit your hooking, you know you're gonna lose your mind. Blind Lemon had a long-toed mama with people back in Arkansas. Yes, Blind Lemon had a long-toed mama. People back in Arkansas. They say she wasn't so good looking, but had a dimple so low in her jaw. Oh, sitting here wondering, would a matchbox hold my clothes? I'm sitting here wondering. There's one kind of favor, ask Blind Lemon Mama if you please. One kind of favor, ask Blind Lemon Mama if you please. When I'm gone, won't you see my grave is kept clean? Yes, way back in Texas, Blind Lemon sang the blues.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's kind of the way Lemon played. He was really a great player. Such incredible improvisation in his style. He was really a wonder. And the greatest blues singers at 26, 27, the first guys to record were just the cream of the crop. In Texas, there was Blind Lemon. In Mississippi, there was Charlie Patton. From Florida was Blind Blake. They were like the three greatest.
What was it like hanging out with Reverend Gary Davis?
Oh, it's a lot like visiting your grandpa. a lot of cigar smoke, you know. And lots of great stories. It's a lot like visiting your grandpa, except the man could pick a guitar. I mean, when I started with him, I wasn't advanced enough to pick up as much as I wished I could have. But in a way, I ended up okay. I got enough guitar licks to forge my own little style. I mean, I can't play Reverend Davis note for note, but I still try. I'm still in touch with Mrs. Davis. She's 103.
Wow.
Reverend Davis passed away May 5th, 1972. We figured Mrs. Davis would follow soon after, but the woman has hung on. And Reverend Davis, of course, mostly did Christian songs because that was the deal.
Yeah.
And I sang in church with him a bunch of times. It was very interesting. We traveled around. We drove. A lot of times we took the train because I'd get on for half price or free because I was the blind guy's lead dog. And planes didn't have that deal. But Reverend Davis often flew me around, too. It was a great opportunity. I quit college in '67 to go at Reverend Davis. I had $25 in my pocket, $50, and he said, don't worry about it. And he paid my way. And it was good for me, and I guess it was good for him to have somebody that he could trust with him. And it was a great friendship. Fantastic. I met a lot of my dearest friends through Reverend Davis that I'm still in touch with. It's a great experience.
Yeah. Some wonderful music he made.
Yeah, right place at the right time.
Well, what would you like to share with us now?
It was actually a great lead-in for a Gary Davis song, but...
Yeah, we have our copyright problems here on Horses Sing None of It, unfortunately, but...
Yeah, I'll do you a little tune called The Gin Done Done It. The Gin Made a Fool Out of Me. This is an old song I first heard a string band do, and I liked the words to it, and I worked out an arrangement to it, and then I recorded it, and one of my fans sent me a tape of the original recording by Pigmeat Pete and Cat Juice Charlie. And it was a little jazzy thing, and they explained to me that that wasn't their real names. Very astute fans. Cat Juice Charlie was actually Hattie McDaniels before she became a movie actress. But it's a fun little song. It goes like this. I hope I remember the words. to take my gal to a social dance. I didn't have me no seed in my pants. She gave me $4 and she brought me in. I took the money and I bought me some gin. The gin done it, whoa, doggone it. The gin made a fool out of me. Yes, the gin made a... Now I walked the streets, I tore my hair, I wanted to whoop everybody that I did meet. Along come Ralph, I said, my good friend, I whooped him bad until it was a sin. I said, the gin done it, whoa, doggone it. The gin made a fool out of me. Ooh, I said, the gin made a fool out of me. I took my cow to see the doctor man. There was something about her I just couldn't understand. I milked her good, it was 10:30. She didn't give me nothing but a bucket of gin. Gin done it, whoa, doggone it. You know the gin made a fool out of me. I went to the church to do the holy roll. You know, I grabbed me a sister, I could want to convert her soul. Preacher walked in, she started rolling with me, she started rolling with him. The gin done it, whoa, doggone it, the gin made a fool out of me. I said, the gin made a fool out of me. Now, you know, I went downtown, it was about 4:30, and I stole 2 pork chops from the butcher man's store. They locked me up, and the judge said, Roy, it takes 6 months just to clear up your head. I said, have mercy, Your Honor, it wasn't my fault, the gin made a but please, the gin made a fool out of me.
All right.
Gin done it. Gin made a fool out of me. That's a good old song there.
Well, we got enough time for a little bit of conversation and one more tune, which you kindly...
Well, we're talking about Reverend Davis. Let me squeeze in a little bit of this real quick.
Yeah.
This is a tune I wrote for Reverend Davis, sort of in his style.
Sure.
Sang his songs on the streets for years, for nickels and for dimes. He preached the words of Jesus and drank a little wine. Traveled round the country, sang a song for you and a song for me. He was a friend of mine. Now death don't have no mercy, took that friend of mine. I don't know where I'm going, sometimes I feel like I am blind. Said put your faith in Jesus, the world could be so fine. He was a friend of mine. He belonged to the band and he sang his last song somewhere. He said, let us get together, children, right down here. He was a light in this world, you know, a voice we all could hear. He was a friend of mine. Yes, he sang his songs on the streets for years, for nickels and for dimes. He preached the words of Jesus, although that he was blind. He sang his songs on the streets for years, for nickels and for dimes. He was a friend. He was a friend. He was a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Thank you. The short version.
Well, we're going to wrap this up pretty shortly. We want to thank all you folks for tuning in and tell you to keep looking because Roy's going to come back and do another show with us sometime in the near future. It'll be on the same channel for you. And I want to thank you, Roy, for coming up from Florida. And
my pleasure.
While you're here, stopping in to see us.
It's great to see you again. Great to get a chance to play for all the folks.
We should maybe tell folks that harmonica players should not play this with you when they see you.
Well, it's okay if they're invited. I'm inviting you to play. This is an old Willie Brown song by the late Willie Brown. This song was first recorded 1941 when Alan Lomax went down south with his father and they were collecting blues songs and such. Alan Lomax is down in Florida now. He's an old man. It's great to see him at some of the gigs. I'm going down to the Delta, Mama, where I can have my fun. Ooh, I'm going back down to the Delta. I said, Mama, where I can have my fun. Where I can drink my white line and whiskey and I can gamble. I can bring my baby. Ooh, I'm going to bring my baby home. Well, don't the Delta look lonesome when that evening sun goes down? I said, don't the Delta look lonesome when that evening sun goes down? You might be looking for your loved one. Yes, you might be looking, but you know that good gal, man. I said that she just can't be found. I love you, baby, although I know you treat your daddy wrong. Ooh, I said that I love you, baby, although I know you would treat your daddy wrong. So sick and I'm tired of drifting. You know I'm sick and I'm tired of drifting to this evil, cruel world alone. Yes, I know you mistreat me, baby, but I can't help and love you just the same. Ooh, I said I know you would mistreat me, baby, but I can't help and love you just the same, because I said that it grieves my poor heart to hear, grieves my poor heart to hear some other man when they call